There is a constant, eternal, forever excellence to ACC basketball. Then, now, always. There was a time when gods and titans dominated ACC basketball. There was a time when the game was played as it was designed, with speed, passion, and skill. There was a day when one could travel along the Atlantic coast, from the harbors of Boston to the shores of Miami, and hear stories of great victories and triumph, of remarkable men who held court with raw talents, changed the game, marked new ground. There was a time when ACC basketball, at its core, held the heartbeat of those that love and know the game. Sit quietly and listen as fans speak of mighty coaches who stalked the sideline, intense men named Kremens, Smith, Drizel, and Krzyzewski, or Case, men who shaped and spurred their warriors to greater heights, teachers of values and beliefs, makers of men. Coaches who demanded commitment, loyalty, and dedication to team, to the name on the front of the jersey. Men who never gave in, never gave up. Men who stared down defeat until the clock struck zero and the final horn sounded. Watch the old films and great players come to life once more. Gods and titans. Power forwards dominate the glass. Awe-inspiring centers soar with purpose. Sharp-shooting guards with a sniper's mentality. Magnificent athletes, all with a common purpose: to score, to win. Courageous and exceptional, yes. Gods and titans. Listen in quiet, empty arenas, sacred buildings that bear the name of distinguished men: Cameron, Castle, Littlejohn. And one bears witness to greatness racing up and down between the lines. Grizzled faces, eyes shining brightly. Compare athletes of old with fresh-faced freshmen. Filled arenas, rafters overflowing, the cacophony of sound and sight. Bands and cheerleaders, coaches leap to their feet to exhort. Raw, unbridled emotion, every moment a battle. Victory or death, there is nothing in between. Ah, glory and glorious. There was a time when the brisk winds of March arrived and the intensity of the regular season ratcheted upward a notch or two or more. With the bitter cold comes the tourney, win or go home. The sting of defeat now reverberates deeply into the very soul of the athlete. 4 days of sudden death. 12 schools arrive, all with the same hope, but only one lifts the trophy, cuts down the net, is recognized as champion, ACC champion. Forever honored, forever remembered, forever. Gods and titans. There was a time, and that time is now, as it was then, and as it will be. For this is the Atlantic Coast Conference. Tested under fire, battle-honored trial and tribulation, molten lead hammered into hardened steel. Leaders, winners. For 60 years, ACC players, coaches, and teams have dominated the national scene. 12 national championships, countless All-Americans, 16 Naismith Players of the Year. Yes, this is our moment. Atlantic Coast Conference basketball. Its very name thunders across the sky, echoes through the mountains, resonates deep in our heart. There was a time, then, now, always. Born along a dusty tobacco road, today the ACC stands proudly at the top of the mountain, its legacy cresting along the entire Atlantic coast. Valiant, singular, exceptional. Gods and titans. Yes, gods and titans. Today we welcome 12 of the greatest athletes to ever play the game. Each of these men brought honor and distinction to their institution. Each embodies the values we cherish: leadership, commitment, excellence, and dedication. It is a distinct honor and privilege to present this year's Atlantic Coast Conference Legends Class of 2012.
This brunch and this Legends is part of what is happening in Greensboro at the ACC headquarters, and heading up that group, of course, is the Commissioner of the Atlantic Coast Conference, John Swofford, and we'd like to bring him up now. Commissioner?
Mike, thank you very much. First of all, welcome to the 2012 ACC Legends Brunch. What a wonderful job you have done. Now, on to the special event that we're a part of today. And this really is, and some of you are here each and every year, this really is one of the truly special events in the Atlantic Coast Conference year. It highlights the truly unbelievable history and tradition that is Atlantic Coast Conference basketball. And the legends that you will meet momentarily actually personify the Atlantic Coast Conference basketball, its history and tradition, what it has been, what it is today, and what it will be as we move forward in the future. And we're all very fortunate, I think, to have two of the best ambassadors that I know for the Atlantic Coast Conference to host this brunch and to help us honor a great group of legends. And that's Tim Brandt and Mike Hogwood. Gentlemen, thank you for all that you do throughout the year for the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
And while thanking the entire room for being here with us to help us honor this year's class of legends, and it is a special class, as each of them are, I'll now turn it over to Tim and Mike to meet the legends.
But Randolph was a spectacular player, yeah. and all of us in our own right. But that's what I remember.
Yeah. All of those guys are legends. It's great to have them here today. Sharon, it's great to have you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on being our legend. Let's meet now our next legend. Congratulations to Sharon.
A versatile 6'7" forward who was effective inside or outside for the Duke teams of the late 1970s and early 80s is our next honoree. He helped lead Duke to the 1978 NCAA title game and to ACC championships in 1978 and 1980. During his 4 seasons in Durham, the Blue Devils compiled an impressive 90-33 record that included 3 NCAA tournament appearances and 1 NIT berth. Named second team ACC All-Tournament in 1978 as a freshman, he played 3 seasons for Bill Foster and 1 for Mike Krzyzewski for the Blue Devils, and was named team captain in his senior season for Coach K. One of just 7 Duke players who have totaled over 1,000 points, 650 rebounds, and 200 assists in his career. Selected in the 4th round of the 1981 NBA draft by Kansas City, he played 3 seasons in the NBA for Kansas City and Denver. A native of King, North Carolina, he is the managing partner at Dennard, Rupp, Gray, and Lasker, an investor relations firm based in Houston, Texas. A 30-year cancer survivor, this coming September, he has served on the Coaches vs. Cancer National Council since 1998. Please welcome Duke's Kenny Dennard.
Dookies they're in the house. There's no doubt about it.
Kenny's house.
Yeah.
Come on over here, Kenny.
I don't think we need to ask you any questions. You just let him sit here and talk. Really?
Congratulations, big guy. Sit down here.
Kenny, congratulations on being a legend.
Weight limit on this chair.
Weight limit? Well, we don't know, but we're in trouble. You should have seen this whole group. We were coming up in one
Tim,
elevator, all those big guys.
Give him the mic.
Why? I'm not used to sharing.
I know. Gina had told me.
All right, here we go. Coach K coming in, young coach from Army. What'd you think?
Didn't know what to think, really. until we got there. Gene and I and Jim Suddeth, who's here, another teammate of that year. We just went with the flow, and so did Coach K. After the success we had the first 3 years that Suds and Gene and I were there, we didn't know what to expect, and neither did he. So I think we did pretty good, 17 and 13. Y'all talking about what the legends of your era, the 81 season, if you look back at all the great teams the ACC had, you go down the roster, they're all household names. I mean, from Clemson's Larry Nance to Lee Raker and Jeff Lamp to Buck Williams and Albert King, Al Wood, and name all those Carolina guys. Doug, you know those Carolina guys, right?
Yeah.
So no, but I mean that year was a great year for ACC basketball, and we were pretty lucky. We beat Carolina, and we had a pretty good season. A lot of people think it's supposed to be, the Final Four all the time now, but back then, it was we're just lucky to be there that one year that we went in the freshman year.
It means something to you to beat Carolina.
People do know a lot of stats now that all this stuff's happening. Gene and I and Suds played Carolina 14 times in our career. Do the math. That was back with the Big Four tournament.
Absolutely.
So we play them 3 times 1 year, 4, 4, and 3. That's a lot of times.
Kenny, you married your high school sweetheart. You've got a son. Tell everybody what you're doing today.
Well, they're right over there, and thank goodness that they're in my life. But I've been working with my partner there, Steve Gray, who's a former teammate, and we do investor relations. So if anybody has a public company and need help, call me.
Hey, speaking of teammates, the man who's going to be working with Tim Brandt today, Mike Jaminski, part of our crew, he was a part of your team for 3 years. Any G-Man stories we can hit up?
Yeah, well, we used to call G-Man the black hole, because you throw the ball in, you'll never see it again. Literally, his next assist will be his first. Is that good?
That's good. Okay, that's good. That's great.
Let me tell you, it hadn't changed. I thought he played football because every time I talk, he gives me the Heisman.
Yeah. Well, just stay on whichever side of the head you need to be on.
Yeah, right.
Kenny, great to have you
Thanks
with
a
us
lot.
today.
Kenny, congratulations.
Kenny Dennard of Duke.
Way to go, big guy. That is awesome. I need that mic back. Let's meet our next legend. Let's have a big round of applause for all the legends.
Absolutely. Yeah.